Hello and welcome to episode 31 of the Universally Epic Podcast, your go-to Universal Orlando trip planning podcast. I'm Jim Klein, along with Taylor Franklin. We are your hosts and travel agents for all things Universal. And on today's show, Halloween Horror Nights, announcements and tickets, and our first-timer, oh my goodness, and our first-timer guides to both HHN and Universal Orlando Resort. How you doing, Taylor?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah, I
good.
only
I had
stumbled
a
a little bit there. It wasn't too bad.
yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think you should just leave it in.
Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, instead of clipping it and putting it to the end of the episode, like,
Just leave it there.
and like now when you're hearing this, we just already decided that we're going to put about 3 or 4 minutes at the end of the episode that we just talked about. So we'll
Yeah.
do that. So how was your week?
It was good. I had the two girls that I babysit for. They had a recital on Saturday for
Oh,
their
nice.
dance team, and it was so cute. It was just a
Yeah,
bunch of like little tiny babies dancing. They were so cute.
I remember when my daughter had dance recitals. They were adorable. Oh my god, she did
They
it
were
for
so
8 years. It was great. I loved it. Everybody always like, oh, oh, you going to dance recital? I was like, yeah, I'm going to my daughter's dance recital. I was psyched. I was so excited.
Yeah, no, I was super excited, and I
Yeah,
was
that's
I
awesome.
was super honored because one of the girls has autism, and so she needs a support person. And the family had chosen me, while the family got to go sit out in the crowd and watch them dance. And the mom was super grateful, and grandma like hugged me, and she was like, "You've done so much for our family," and I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Wow, that's so nice.
Yeah. But it's like I went back there so they could all sit out there and watch the recital from like the actual seats, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were all very grateful. It was
yeah.
very
That's
cute.
nice. That's nice. Yeah. So, all right. So let's get into what we want to talk about. So, some big announcements this week in terms of Halloween Horror Nights. Um, First, let's get it out of the way. Tickets, right? So you
Yep.
can purchase tickets now for Halloween Horror Nights. We're gonna go quickly through like what you can and what types of tickets that are on sale right now.
Yep.
We were talking before the episode about like a frequent Scream Pass, and that's
Yeah.
not available in Orlando, but it is in Hollywood. So
Yeah, there were I saw, and obviously we already talked about this, but I had seen a couple of influencers saying that they were available for Orlando, but I checked the other day. I'm looking at it literally right now on my second monitor, and it's not there. So I don't know if maybe that was like, listen, Universal is probably the most human theme park I've ever seen. It's not the first time that they've made a mistake like that
yeah,
before,
yeah,
and it certainly will not be the last
yeah,
time. But just to kind of go pretty quickly through the tickets, we have first and foremost the premium Scream Night that's coming back. That did really well last year. Um, that is the like your first look at Universal Halloween Horror Nights. That is $375 a ticket. I know that sounds like a lot, but you get like food and drinks, and you get to literally be the first people to experience the event aside from like the team members and the friends and family night. But
mm,
you get to be in that first group. So it's expensive, but also you're probably going to run into a lot of media. A lot of influencers and things like that went last year. It was a huge success last year, and that is available for Thursday, August 28th. So that
yeah.
is the day before the opening for the event. It was way earlier in August last year. I want to say it was like the 15th or 16th. It was early last year. But they did just put it one night before the event. So that's great. That's awesome. But yeah, you get all you can eat select food and drinks. And it's all the event food and all the event drinks, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool for
yeah,
that
which
price point.
yeah, yeah, and you get it says here that you get complimentary self parking.
Hmm.
It says shorter wait times with staggered entry, so it seems like it's more of a after party type feel rather than
Yeah.
like an actual night of Halloween Horror Nights.
If you wanted to experience the houses the way that like the early 2000s did it, where they used to pulse people through the houses, this would be the night.
Uh,
is because they're pulsing people through. It's not a big conga line like it normally is.
mhm.
They're pulsing people through, so you go through in like groups of however many. So you
Yeah,
kind of get to take your time in each of the rooms and everything.
yeah. If you have the money, it sounds like it's worth it. You
Yeah,
know, like definitely.
we might save, and I might do it next year, honestly,
That
because
sounds
it's kind of cool.
great. Yeah, it does sound great. Uh,
Okay. The single night tickets. Yep, they're there. That's just those are just the normal baseline tickets. You don't get anything fun except for getting scared. And those start at $82.99. They do vary. There are it's kind of like dynamic pricing, so throughout the day. Or throughout the days, it could be more expensive than that, but it'll never be less expensive than that. And that's how that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
works.
And it's
Um,
it seems like the highest I see here is like 123. It's up to. So
is that towards like the middle of October?
yeah, middle of October, like Saturdays in October, like the
Hmm.
11th, 18th, and 25th are the 123. Actually, on Halloween itself, it goes down to $98, and that's
Yeah, so Halloween itself, actually, interestingly enough, is one of the least busiest times at HHN.
funny.
It
That is
is not very busy. We went last year for Halloween to the end of the event. So we were there from Halloween to the 3rd, I believe.
okay.
Um, and Halloween and the last night of the event, no,
That's great.
it was like
Yeah,
really chill. It
yeah,
was
that's
really
great.
chill.
Yeah, like, and this one runs until the second this year. So
Yep.
yeah, so you have a couple days after that. Planning.
Um, then we have the Express Pass, works almost the exact same as the Universal Express passes, just kind of in general. This one does have the limitation of one time through the houses that you can use your Express Pass. The Express Pass entrances are very clearly labeled. Um, they everyone go to the Express Pass so my standby lines can be short. That's how I got to do Chucky 3 times because
That's
everybody was in the Express Pass line.
so funny, right? Like, isn't that great? You decided
um,
to go cheap and like you won. You know.
I won. I won. That's how we got through the Last of Us line too. It's because everybody was in the Express Pass line,
Right. Yeah, that's
and I was
it's so
like,
interesting though. Like it's kind of weird as well. You know, like you
yeah.
spend the extra money and like you're waiting longer than the standby.
Well, and the funniest part about that is that it's a conga line, so it should be constantly moving, right?
Hmm.
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah, that's
It
so
does
weird.
not do that. Um, uh, Next, you have the RIP tour. There are private RIP tours, and then there are just like the normal RIP tours. Those are like normal VIP tours, but they're called RIP because it's in theme. We love that. But they are guided tours through the event. You have a tour guide that takes you through the event. It usually takes, I believe, 3 to 4 hours to get through. They take you through the special entrances so you can get in the house, and then you have a tour guide that tells you all about what's going on in the houses. They explain the scare zones. They take you into the tribute store. You have a nice lounge that has food and drinks and stuff, and you get a really cool lanyard, which is worth it to me. Um, and that starts at $369.99. Um, I do believe that for the private one, you have to have more than 8 people, and then
Okay,
you get your own private RIP tour.
gotcha.
But if it's just like you and one other person, then you guys would kind of like join in on this like public RIP tour. Um, so it'd just be a bunch of like randoms. But it's still super fun. I've heard really good things about it, and the RIP tour guides are so funny. Um, I watch them all the time because I watch like Tim Tracker or a few other in influencers that always go on the RIP tours, and they show off because the RIP tour guides are fine with being recorded, so they show off the jokes and stuff that they make about the houses, and it's just a bunch of people getting really into HHN. Um, and then we have the Behind the Screams Unmasking the Horror tour. So those are really cool. You can pick 3 or 6 houses, and they are the lights up tours. So you get to walk through the houses with the lights on, and you get to see the detail and everything that Universal Creative has put into it.
Yeah, see, I
Any
think
kind of like Easter eggs and stuff.
this would be right up my alley, I think. Like, it wouldn't be as scary with the lights on, obviously,
Yeah,
so
I
it'd be
think last year they had little frogs with like magician hats on them that they had hidden all through the sets.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
I
Yeah,
think they did ducks the year before. It was like they do something every year that has these like little mini figures that they have hidden all over the set. But you get to hear like what went into it, the story behind the house if it's an original house, and things like that. You just get kind of this like cool little tour. And those start at $84.99. Um, and that is going to be more for the 3 house tours. The 6 house tours are a little bit more expensive.
mhm.
Um, and you do get a commemorative pin, which is again worth it enough for me.
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah, it's cool.
um, and just this year, actually, they have started including lunch
Yeah,
on these tours.
for the 6 house tour,
Yes,
the
for the
book.
6 house tour.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
because it
nice.
is a longer day.
Yeah, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. Oh, you also get to take really cool pictures with the lights up.
Yeah,
Um, Holly has taken so many amazing pictures inside the houses and stuff because she goes like every year.
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know.
Um,
I spoke with Holly, like I think on our first on my first episode ever. I had Holly as my guest, and I think she had talked to me about this tour with the lights up and everything, and she was like, "You should do this one." I'm like, that sounds pretty good. Like, I might be able to do that one." Like, that
yeah.
is
She had just come back
that is
from it
like
too.
episode one. Like, that was episode that's 30 episodes ago. That's so funny.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
And then our very last thing that we have listed is the this is called Scream Early. Um, I've always known it to be called Stay and Scream, but I think it's always been called Scream Early. Um, but so it lets you into the park at 3 p.m. With admission to HHN. Now, this wording gets a little strange, and let me explain why, because this episode is all about beginner's tips, so let's start a
Yeah,
little bit early.
yeah.
If you have admission to the park and admission to HHN, you can go in the stay and scream areas. It has to be admission for the same day. So, like, if you spend the whole day at Universal and then you're going to HHN that night, you can stay in the stay and scream holding areas.
Okay,
This is specifically for people that do not have park admission that day.
gotcha.
So you can get into the stay and scream holding areas. That's how you can get into some of the houses early because a lot of the IP houses will open early.
Yeah, so
Um,
this says that you can get in at 3 o'clock. Now, let's
yep.
say you don't go to Universal Studios
Mhm,
that day, right?
mhm.
And then you don't purchase this. What time would you be able to get into the park for the event?
So the event actually starts, I believe. Oh no, I believe it starts at 6.
Okay,
Um, so
so this is like a
you,
3 hour kind of like head start,
yes,
is what you're paying for. Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Um, most of the houses will open by like 5:30, 5:45.
okay.
Um, so you can go through the IP houses, and if you're fast enough, you can get through like half of them before anybody else is even in the park.
So this is a really good add-on if you don't have.
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
I there is
okay,
not a single bit of me that would not recommend Stay and Scream,
okay.
or Scream Early,
Especially if it's your first time. Like, it might
especially if
be.
it's your first time.
Yeah,
Or even if you only have one night that you're going to HHN, absolutely Stay and Scream is the way to go.
gotcha.
Otherwise, you're not getting through the houses, and especially for a year, and we'll get into the announcements in just a second, but especially for a year this big or what it's looking like it's going to be, um, or if you're going on a Stranger Things year, which I know we only have one more year of that, but if you're going on a Stranger Things year, you need the stay and scream or you are not getting into that house.
I could only imagine.
Yeah.
So
And especially, I mean, I'm a completionist, so like I have to do a full run of all 10 houses in one night. That's been our thing. That's mine and Noah's thing. We usually reserve
you
that for
stay
the
there.
last
Yeah.
night that we're there.
Yeah, we
But
talked about that a couple episodes ago. Yeah, like, so as a first timer, so I have never been. Um, so you get in there.
yeah.
So this stay and scream.
Uh-huh.
Walk me through it, right? Like, so you get there at 3 o'clock. What do you do? Like, where do you go first? Like, what?
Okay. So normally there are four different stay and scream locations. Four. Um you get access to at least two of the houses, I believe, per stay and scream.
Okay.
Um and some of them do overlap, but that's just because like the like at least you know where like the Universal Plaza Theater is.
Hmm.
Um, if you there's two houses that sit right there, like
Okay.
two entrances sit right there, and then there's the Jimmy Fallon entrance into a house. Um, so you do normally get like access to two. You get there. They normally have some of the food booths open. None of the HHN food booths are open yet, but they still have like the vendors and stuff that are on the streets for just like normal Universal
Right.
guests.
Okay.
So you can get snacks, you can get a drink while you're standing in line if you want to. If you need a little bit of liquid courage, um,
Yeah,
hop
I
over to the
probably need
vendor.
a lot of liquid courage, to be honest.
um, it I won't say that it is an enjoyable 3 hours.
Okay. So
3 hours in the sun gets
Oh,
boring.
gotcha.
Um,
So what are you doing during this time? So other than going into like maybe a house or two that's open, right? Or is that
yeah,
it? Like that's
you just kind of get early access to everything. So basically, it's kind of just like okay, I'm going to be in the Springfield location. So I'm going to run everything on this side of the park before anybody who's at the front of the park is immediately bolting to the back. Because
gotcha.
normally, like let's, for example, say the Last of Us house last year, or not last year, but the year before, was like in that stretch of houses
Okay.
over in the Springfield location, kind of. Um, so it's like, okay, I'm going to The Last of Us first. Now I need to go hit, the three houses that are on this stretch of road because everybody is bolting from the front to The Last of Us house.
Gotcha.
Or a Stranger Things year. I need to run Stranger Things first and then go to every house on this side of the road because what happens when we as people see, okay, I have exited here. Oh, there's another portal. I'm going to walk to that one.
Hmm.
Because you're not thinking about anything other than the fact that like you have this house that's right next to you.
Gotcha.
So you're going to want to do everything you can to like make it through that stretch of houses. Um and then you're going to pull out your nifty little device and you're going to be like, okay, ooh, wait times are getting a little steep. Maybe this is when we go to Louis to get pizza.
Louise, I was just gonna say, really nice piece of pizza.
And we go to Louis.
There you
You
go.
eat some pizza, you pull out your nifty device, and you go, oh,
Check out where you can go next. All right.
yeah. And I
So that's
wouldn't, it's not an exact science. I mean, Universal inflates lines. They do it pretty, okay. Uh, Universal, I'm so sorry. I'm going to out you. I'm going to out you. They do it real bad at HHN. Real bad.
really, so they just manipulate the crowds like
Mhm.
a lot. Yeah.
They
Okay.
have a flow that they want, and they will make you adhere to it.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. You know, every theme park does it, but yeah, you're right. Universal does do it pretty consistently.
I love my Apple Watch because I love to line track. It's my favorite thing in the whole world to do. And it's now become like Holly will be like, "Hey Taylor, how long have we been standing in line?" And I'm like, "20 minutes. The posted time was 70." And she's like, "20 minutes? We're almost at the front of the house." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
It's so funny.
But it's just like it's one of my favorite things to do. It passes the time, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
It passes the time because I'm like, oh, I feel like I've been walking for 20 minutes, but I've really only been walking for 5.
Yeah. I'm not
Um,
gonna lie. Like I watch all those on TikTok. Like
Yeah.
I love watching like real versus like posted wait time like
Yeah.
things. Like I don't know. I find it fascinating.
Hmm. I'll even like I won't stop the timer, go through the whole house, and then see what it is when I exit the house. And I'm like, wow, okay, so that's not even close, Universal. You said 120 minutes. This is 50.
That's so funny. That is
But
funny.
it's purely crowd manipulation. I mean, they're
Of
doing
course.
things to like, oh, Stranger Things is at 60 minutes, and that's probably the lowest wait we're gonna get all week.
Hmm.
So you're like, oh yes, I need to go to Stranger Things.
Gotta go.
But you
Yeah.
ignored the fact that Ghostbusters is at a 30-minute wait.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? Go to Ghostbusters.
That's funny. Yeah. So you're mentioning a few houses, but those have not been announced yet, right?
No.
And they did announce Fallout
Fallout.
is
Mhm.
the newest one that they mentioned, and I know
Yep.
you wanted to say something about Five Nights at Freddy's,
Yeah.
right? So
Um so a couple of things. Fallout, as far as we know, is based off of the TV show, not the game. Um so it'll have characters and everything from the TV show. I have not personally seen the TV show, but I know that it won a ton of awards and I love Ella Purnell, so like I she would sell it alone for me, but I don't really care about the Fallout franchise. Sorry, all of my friends that listen to me say that. I don't really care about the Fallout franchise like that. So I think it's cool. They did an amazing job with The Last of Us, and that was based off the TV show. Um, so
oh,
uh, now I'm second guessing myself. Oh no. Oh, okay. So I'm pretty sure I'm right on Fallout. I'm pretty sure it follows the TV show.
okay.
But if it doesn't and it follows the game, I apologize. That's my fault.
It would make more sense though, right? Like with the
Yeah,
being so popular and everything. So
yeah.
not to
And
pick
then
on it, but I'm just saying like it's
yeah,
more current. Yeah.
it would make more sense. It draws in a bigger crowd if they do it based off of the TV show.
Hmm. Of course.
Um, but who
Yep.
knows? Universal does weird things all the time. Um, the Last of Us was based off the game, not the TV show. So
Oh, that is
it,
yeah. Okay. So you don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Ignore.
So like I don't I feel like I might be mixing it up because I remember looking at it and going, oh, that's different. Um, so I'm pretty sure that Fallout is based off the show, not the game, because The Last of Us was the game, not the show.
Gotcha. All right.
But wires get crossed in my brain, so who knows? Who knows? I'm making a podcast. I don't
That's
know.
funny.
But then Five Nights at Freddy's, still big question mark. They were like, details to come. Guess what hasn't happened? Details.
Right.
So Five Nights at Freddy's is still super weird. Um, Michaelo was on a podcast, I believe, or he was doing an interview or something, and he may or may not have let slip that Five Nights at Freddy's is a house on both coasts.
Okay.
Um, so I'm really hoping that that's the case. It would be. I have been racking my brain all week trying to figure out what else Five Nights at Freddy's could be.
Hmm.
Um, and I've come up with nothing. People were like, "Oh, they could just like retheme Louis," and I was like, "Please don't make Louis harder for me to get into. I'll cry."
That's funny.
But that about does it for the HHN stuff.
Yeah.
You got any questions? You've
Yeah.
never
No.
been to HHN. Let's
I've
start
never
it
been.
this way.
I've never been. It's obviously I know a little bit more than what an average first timer
Yeah.
would ask. You know, my thing I've already like asked a bunch of questions on like the scare level and I
Hmm.
think I had Holly on once and she was talking about how some of them are just kind of like not as scary, right? Or was it you? Or I think both of you might have been on the same
We
episode.
probably talked about it at the same time.
Yeah, like so like I get it. There's like levels,
Mhm.
right, of like scare, but they don't let you know that ahead of time, right?
No, but usually you can kind of tell from the announcement if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like if they're going for something a little more scary, the like trailer will have like a darker vibe to it.
Gotcha.
And like the announcement itself will be like draped in ominous verbiage and things like that.
You know, that is a question of somebody that gets scared very easily. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm asking about scare levels. Like I, I would be petrified. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't sleep for a week.
I can't wait.
Oh my god,
I cannot wait.
it would be so funny. I would I think I would just laugh and cry, and I don't even know. I don't know. It would be the, it'd be so bad. Right?
I wanna like strap a sound meter to you.
Oh my god. It would sound like you were screaming. Like I think,
I startle really easy. Holly doesn't startle all that well.
oh, it's just
Um
that's you know, I the jump scares and all that stuff. Like, oh my, I don't know. I don't know. I can't even fathom of
I think
being
it
there.
would be like we do a house, you
How,
have to sit for 20 minutes.
yeah,
We do another house.
yeah. You know what? You know what it is. I probably would be great after the first or second one. Like, I think I
Yeah.
would get. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just one of those things that, like,
Yeah. And
never.
unfortunately there isn't like a dipping your toes. You
No,
kind of just got to like
there's
dive in head first and
turn
then like
around when you
hope for
get
the
too
best.
bad. Yeah, no, not yeah. I think if I were to go down, I just go all in, right? Like you're there,
You'd
like you
have
might as
to.
well, right? So if you're going down and you commit, you might as well commit all the way, right?
Mhm.
Like you're not gonna go to the thing and just be like, "Oh, I'll wait for you outside." Like, why would you do that? Like, just go, commit.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna hurt you, right?
Nope. They cannot touch you. That is a big, big, big first timer thing.
Yeah,
They cannot touch you. Legally, they cannot touch you. And
so
if they do, you have every right to go tell their supervisor.
um,
However, sometimes mistakes do happen, and sometimes they do accidentally touch you, but
yeah,
you can
there's
tell
a
an
difference. Yeah,
accidental touch
yeah, you'll be.
versus being grabbed.
Yep, of course. Yep. All right, yeah. Like I think that's all it is. Like I think people like me,
Yeah.
where like I get scared easily in like haunted houses and stuff. Like that's really the fear is like how scary am I? Like how scared am I actually going to be? But like I think it would be different if I was going with a whole group of people as
Yeah.
well. Like I'm sure that would be such a blast. Like
I will
as
shove you to the front.
oh
You
my,
will be leading the house.
I we will be going very slow. We would like those those hour-long waits are gonna double. I'm leading the way.
This is me line tracking for
Yeah,
when Jim walks through
yeah.
the
There you
house.
go. You see this? Kim held up the whole line for Universal Halloween Horror Nights. Uh, yeah. No, like, I think those are the questions, right? Like, I know the food booths, they'll open, I'll be there most of the time, eating.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
I
like
love themed food.
yeah, exactly. It's so great. Yeah, like I don't really have too many other first timer questions. It's really just like the initial getting into the park, what's that
Mhm.
like? And then it's just, am I gonna have nightmares for a month and a half? Like
You
that's
might.
really my two concerns. And I'm assuming that's what most people's concerns would be if they're not into horror. Like I never watched horror movies growing up. Like I
Mhm.
hated them. Like I just don't do them. Like
Right.
just but but I also, in the same respect, like I watched Walking Dead longer than I probably should have. Like, and that wasn't horror, but like
Yeah.
some of those things were pretty frightening to me, to be honest with you. You know what I mean?
I don't blame you. Some of those things were a little frightening to me too.
And I watched that for way too long. Like that show went on. I think it might be still going on, but I haven't watched that in
Well,
years.
they have like 59 spin-offs now,
Yeah.
so
So, but like something like that, I
mhm.
was fine. I watched it every week. Like
Yeah.
I was really into it. So
Well,
yeah,
and I think there's something to be said too there about like people's tolerance for like vampires, werewolves, zombies versus people's tolerance for like the supernatural or just good old fashioned slashers, like things like that. Like there's like a common interest in like zombies, werewolves, and vampires.
yeah,
Aliens too, to an extent. But people like that, and that's an easier pill to swallow than
Hmm.
like, hey, I'm gonna throw you into this house where a dude made a deal with the devil, and now he can't. Now he can't stop making music because if he does, he'll die. How do you feel about
Oh,
that?
that sounds awful. It sounds,
Meanwhile, it's me in the house, and I was like
that's so funny.
through the whole house because it was just like blues music through the whole house or bluegrass.
That's funny. Yeah. So, all right, that's
I
HHN.
guess
Like,
something a little bit different about getting into the park as opposed to like just how you would normally go in on a normal day. Which kind of leads me there. I got, I have a beginner tip that starts here, but I can pull it into HHN. So,
the Universally Epic podcast is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel, a Universal you preferred travel agency. If you're looking to plan your next Universal Orlando vacation, let's do it together. As certified Universal specialists, we can help guide you through the planning process with helpful tips and tricks along the way. The best part, all our travel planning services are free to you.
when you book your Universal Orlando vacation with us, you qualify for an exclusive booking bonus offer from the Magic for Less Travel, a $25 Universal gift card for all vacation packages over $2,500. Ready to start planning? Email the podcast at universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com and start planning your next epic Universal vacation today. One of the big things that people don't fully get is that security is at City Walk. Security is not at park gates. So that's one, super convenient, and two, a lot of people get caught off guard. And that happens if you're just going to City Walk or if you're going through City Walk to get to the parks. But security happens when you get off the bus and go up those escalators. You are at the security checkpoint. That is the only security checkpoint. Then you get to the park. You scan your ticket, you do your facial recognition, you do what you need to do, you're in the park. Okay, great. Now you have to look through the sea of people that if you're coming for Stay and Scream and you don't have admission into the park before that, if you're coming to Stay and Scream, you have to look through the sea of people that Universal is corralling out of the park to find the one cast member holding the sign that tells you where you're supposed to go.
Oh,
In recent years, that sign has gotten bigger, so it's
that's good.
easier to spot now. But for 30, which was my first year, um, that sign was really small. I had no idea where we were going. I was like,
So definitely look for that guy. Like,
yeah, you
definitely
gotta
look for
find
him.
the guy.
That's so funny.
And it's always like, for some reason, it's always like the shortest team member that they have. And they like are barely holding the sign up, and you're like, where's the sign? I can't find the sign. I don't know where I'm going. So, a good thing to kind of prepare yourself for is to know where the Stay and Screams are. They sometimes change, but usually you can count on there being like a Springfield one, a Central Park one, or somewhere in that Central Park area. One towards the back, and one if you walk straight through the gates and go off to the right. It's like right there, but usually they will also have like the like A signs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the A-frame signs. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what they call it, A-frame signs. Yeah,
Are they called A-frame signs?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, I thought I came up with that in my
yeah. No,
own mind.
the A-frame signs. Yeah,
But
or
like,
like,
yeah.
or sometimes like lunchboard signs, right? They call them that too.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mhm. But they usually will have those out too, but those are way harder to spot in the
of
sea of
course.
people that Universal's trying to get out. So
So, all right. Yeah.
yeah,
So, well, going with that, like you brought up like security and stuff, which
mhm.
makes it a lot easier to get into the parks and stuff. And like
Yeah,
maybe we can use that as as our transition point to our like beginner
yeah,
tips and stuff. Let's do that because it does go right into it. Um, I'd like to add to yours on, if you're in the parking garages and you're going through that you before you get to City Walk, you get there. Also, if you're walking from one of the other resorts like Cabana Bay, Aventura, there's a walking path and there's a security like basically right near where Margaritaville empties out
Oh, yeah,
into.
there is.
So there's one there. So if you're walking from one of those resorts over there, or walking from Volcano Bay for some reason, um, you would hit that up. Also, if you're getting onto any of the boat services, like the water taxis,
Mhm.
each resort has their own um, security at the dock. So, like,
I
I was
always forget
saying,
that those are there.
yeah, well, it's great because there's no lines ever,
Yeah,
right? Like, it's only the people at your resort going through. So
yeah,
it helps so much. So, like, if you were to take the bus from your hotel to City Walk, because that's where the main drop off is from all the buses,
yeah.
right? So it's just one like centralized location at City Walk. You go up the escalators, and with the regular general public at that point
Mhm.
getting it to City Work, so you have a lot more people. However, their security lines go really quick, for
They
the most
do.
part, right? Like, you're
Yeah.
through pretty quick.
Mhm.
Um,
Even
Now
with, like, strollers and stuff, and, Holly and Brian always have Harper with her wheelchair, and they're still through sometimes faster than I can get through.
yeah, it is, they do it really well. It's very, very
They're
efficient.
very
Um,
efficient. There's
but yeah,
also, like, a billion lines, so
it does work really well.
yeah.
Yeah, so if you're taking a if you're staying in a resort with a water
Mhm.
taxi, and you don't have to stay in that resort. I stayed at Aventura. I would walk over to Sapphire Falls and use their boat system.
Yeah.
And so I would go through security there, and then once you get off, and especially if you're going to what is it, Universal Studios, the boat ramp is like right outside the gates, right there. So like that's kind of nice. So all right. So what's next? What else you? What would you
Okay,
think?
let's continue on this train of thought because I like this. I like this. We're going from the beginning, right? So the security checkpoint. Mine is small. It's also maybe a little petty. There are moving walkways. Walk. Walk.
Yeah.
Not moving stand ways,
Yeah.
but I understand. If you need to stand, stand off to one side.
Yes. Yep.
I
Stand to
get it.
like if you're gonna like either yeah, stand to either side, but
Mhm.
like you got to make it so somebody can walk past you.
Yeah.
And if you're a family of four, don't go two by two on the thing and stand there and like hold up everybody. Like the whole point of these things is to move
Drives
fast.
me crazy.
Like that's the whole point. It's literally called like a
Mhm.
walking, like a moving walkway. So you
Moving
can move, like you
walkway.
can move. You know what I mean? So definitely don't do that. Like don't be
Mhm.
that guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's fine. If you wanna stand there,
yeah, you can say
fine.
that's
Just
fine.
stand off to the side.
Exactly. Just make room for the people that do want to walk.
Yeah.
Like that's all.
Yeah. Because I
Not
mean, I'm in my knee brace whenever I go to the parks, and it's really hard for the stop and stand, especially on something like a moving walkway where, like, for half of it, I've been moving pretty quickly, and now I have to, like, an abrupt stop. It's really hard for, that purpose. But also, it's just, like, common courtesy. Just be a good
exactly.
person.
Yeah,
Just be
you
a
know what
good
it is? I
human.
am like a good person. It's like just be self-aware,
Yeah.
which I think has been, I don't know, deteriorating in the society right now. Like people just
We
don't
needed
are
to bring
not
back
self.
self-awareness.
Yeah, like we really do. We really do. Like people are just in their own little worlds and don't care
Mhm.
about anybody else.
No.
Like, and I'm not. Our listeners are probably not like that. Like they're
No.
just not. Like if you're listening to us, we are not those type of people. Like
No.
you know what I mean? So like I would imagine you're not one of those people either, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, just be aware. Just be aware. Like if you're gonna stop, go off to the side and stop. Like
Yeah.
just that's it. It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's such a simple thing. Um, one of my tips is even before you get into the parks and stuff, right? Let's go with like hotels. Okay,
Okay.
the importance of it kind of goes along with a whole group of things that we could talk about, but
Mhm.
staying on property at Universal Orlando is very important. Like,
Take that off my list.
yeah, but like I know we could talk about a bunch of different benefits of this.
Yeah.
Um, Now you can charge things to your room. That's a minor benefit, right? Like You
Yeah.
can,
I don't know if
like,
I've ever taken advantage of that, if I'm
yeah,
really
like,
honest with
most
you.
people don't, it doesn't matter. You can get things delivered back to your room, which is nice, 'cause
That is nice,
you
especially when you buy like the bigger things. And I know in the Jurassic Park area, they sell like large scale dioramas
oh, okay,
um,
yeah.
and like big boxes and stuff. Those, I'm going to tell you right now, don't fit in the lockers. They
Mm,
will not fit in the lockers. There's
mm.
no way.
See, and this is
Just get it
another thing
delivered
that we
back to
need
your
to
home.
mention, also, is the lockers, but let's get to that next.
Yeah, we'll get to the
Yeah,
lockers.
the lockers is yeah. Um, the what is it? So if you stay on park, but the biggest benefit is early park admission is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You get in an hour before
Mhm.
the general public, and it's night and day. Like, you can get through so much with that extra time in the park. And here's another little tip: if your extra hour starts at 7, let's say the park opens at 8, it's 7. Get there at least a half an hour before that. Right? So,
Yeah.
like, you need to wait online to get to the early park admission, or else the line is going to be down the block. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen, Islands of Adventure, their lines for early park admission sometimes are all the way through City Walk, right?
Yeah.
So
They back up pretty quick.
yeah, it gets so tip 1, stay on property, u utilize the early park admission. You
100%.
Yeah, you have to do it. Like, you don't have to. Listen, it depends on what's important to you. If you wanna
Yeah.
get on as many rides as you or attractions as you can, use this. You don't have to pay extra for it. You
Yep.
just have to stay at one of their hotels. That's
Mhm.
it. So,
That kind of leads me into my one of my tips. Especially for a first timer, go in with a plan. You don't have to stick to the plan. You can deviate from your plan and everything, but I have found that it is significantly easier to navigate the park when you've sat down with the app and you're like, okay, when I get through the front gates, do I want to go left or right?
yeah.
And if you go right, you can do things like hit up the five and dime on your way over, or you can, get to ET relatively quickly because you'll be on that side of the park already and you don't have to make that big loop. But if you go left, you can do things like, I don't know why you would, but you could do like an early morning Jimmy Fallon run. Or I don't know why you would. Um, but you could. Or if you want like that rush of
Go to the Mummy.
adrenaline,
Yeah, go to the
you
Mummy,
could go
or
on the
yeah,
mummy at 8 in the morning.
yeah.
If that's what you want. And I know I'm crazy. The Velocicoaster at 8 in the morning was the best form of like
Oh my
wake
god.
up I've
Early
ever
man.
experienced in my life.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
But
I had a
before
great time. The rest of my day was beautiful. The sun was shining. The birds were chirping. I had a great day.
and part of this planning out, right? So here's one thing that you need to know about, certain attractions at Universal are, uh, water rides, right? Flume
Yes.
rides. You need to know that when you go on these rides, you're going to get soaked. Like,
They don't
they,
play.
they don't, yeah, they do not play around at Universal. When they say you will get soaked, like, I know at Disney they say, "Oh, you may get wet." No, no, no. Universal, they're like, "No, no, no, you will not be dry at all." And then you can try to pay $6 and stand in this box and blow hot air on you, right? So as you come out, there's like dryers, like human dryers that you can
I've always
stand in.
wanted to try them.
I'm sure it's just a gimmick. I'm sure
It's
it's just
gotta
a gimmick.
be.
Yeah, come on. It's like a huge Dyson that you're standing in, right? Like one of those
It's
Dyson
just a
hand
blow
blowers.
dryer.
That's all it is. But but, like, yeah, no, you're gonna get soaked. So, like, plan your day. I always say, like, if you're gonna take a midday break, maybe do it before going back to your
Yeah,
hotel room, right?
yeah.
Or if you're gonna be done for the day, go at the end of the day. And, like, those rides are not that long. Like, the wait times are never long for these things. So you don't have to you're not gonna designate, like, a bunch of time to get on these things, but you will be wet. Like, you're gonna be soaked. So, just
If
know that.
you if you are going to HHN, do not get on the water rides an hour before we need to be back in the park for early
Yeah,
park admission.
yeah. I know you had to. problem, right?
I have
Yeah,
2 friends
yeah,
who I know watch, and I'm looking at both of them.
that's so funny. Yeah, like, so definitely know that, you're
Mhm.
gonna get wet if you go on any of those rides.
Yeah.
I'm talking like Dudley Do Right, the Popeyes barges, Jurassic Park, you get kinda wet. I don't think it's
It
as
really depends on where you sit.
yeah, yeah, but just go on it knowing that you're gonna get wet, like,
Yeah.
that's it. So,
Yeah, and then be pleasantly surprised when you're not.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You're gonna come out soaked on anything in Toontown like that, or was it is that
They don't play.
like,
It's
did I
not
say
Toontown.
Toontown? Oh my god, what am I talking about? Toon Lagoon.
Toontown's
Toon Lagoon.
Disney.
Toon Lagoon. Oh god. Alright.
Okay. It's alright, it's
Um,
alright.
what else we got here?
So I know I talked about the lines and stuff at HHN. But another thing I really want to discuss is the lines in the parks. Listen, listen. Everybody's looking at the same app. Every single person in the park is looking at the same app. So if you see a wait time that's sitting at 20 minutes, guess what? About 1,000 other people just saw that that wait time dropped to 20 minutes. Everyone's going there. So do something like, okay, this wait time says it's 20 minutes. And let's say, for example, it's something like, what's like close together?
What attraction was?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I see the steam.
It's like
I see
close
the smoke
together.
coming.
I'm trying to think of like 2 rides where it's like, oh, I could go on that, but like because everybody's flocking to that ride, I'm actually going to go on this one. You know what? I'm going to just pretend for a moment. Let's say Men in Black just dropped to 20 minutes. The Mummy's sitting at 60 minutes. Well, everybody in the park just saw that Men in Black just dropped to 20 minutes. They're going to Men in Black.
Yeah.
They're not going to go stand in that 60-minute line, which probably is more like 40.
Mhm.
Go to the Mummy.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
It's not, again, it's not an exact science. The lines are not an exact science, but
Mm,
it is kind of predictable, and you can kind of see um, a little bit of a pattern, or at least I've noticed a little bit of a pattern, where it's like, okay, you know when like most of the parents and the kids in the park are about to leave because every single kids ride just went from like 15 to 45,
yeah.
every single kids ride because they are getting on that last ride and they're leaving. Okay,
That's so
what a
funny.
great time to go get a snack and then go get on ET again
Yeah, exactly.
because the
Yep.
parents are gone, the kids are gone. Go ride ET again.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
exactly. Exactly. Let's get into the lockers, because I think
Yeah,
this is the one thing that's like completely different if you were ever to go to like Disney or like Disney doesn't have this, right?
yeah,
Universal, you're not allowed to bring bags on the rides.
nope,
Okay. So you need to use these lockers. Now they have free lockers with your admission. Now these are small. They're very small.
yeah,
And we're talking like crossbody. Think of like a crossbody carrier type thing that you can small though. Nothing like large. I don't know exact dimensions on it, but a backpack will not fit in the free lockers. So if you had a backpack, you would have to put them into a larger locker, and I believe they're at like $3 now per use. So it that was one thing that was like, mm, kind of stinks because you're gonna bring like bottles of water with you or like anything else like ponchos or which is another thing that you know bring ponchos, go to the dollar store and
yeah.
get some ponchos, throw it in your bag, and like you're gonna it'll be a lifesaver.
Yeah, please
Um,
listen. Go to
yeah,
the dollar store
yeah, yeah.
and get
Like
ponchos.
go to the dollar store or even Amazon. Like Amazon sells ponchos that are like have buttons in the front, and I
Hmm.
kind of like those better, to be honest.
Those
Other
sound
than
nice.
those other ones that feel like a trash bag over you,
Yeah.
right? Like kind of stick to you. It's so gross. But the ones that like have the buttons, yes, they're a little more expensive, but you're talking like $3 or $4 instead of like a
Yeah.
$1.25. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So when you consider how much you're spending for your vacation, just buy the button ones in the front because then it's
Yeah.
almost like a little jacket, but they also roll up really tight and you could store them in your bag
Yeah.
as you go. So, like, definitely bring ponchos, no matter what time of year you go, and hopefully you don't have to use them.
Yeah.
Like weather can
Worst
change.
case scenario, you don't use them.
Exactly, exactly. So definitely use that. But yeah, those
Yeah.
lockers is try to use, even if you have to, like, you bring one and your partner brings one,
Mhm.
and they're smaller versions, you'll save some money. Like, it's not, like I said, it's not a big deal. It's $3. It's not, but when you're doing that over and over again all day long, it
Yeah.
gets a little bit like, man, I could have brought a smaller bag.
Yeah. So I did look up the dimensions. They are 14 inches by 5.5 inches by 16.9 inches.
Yeah. So, and I think
So,
you had mentioned on a previous episode that you purchased, right? Didn't you purchase like a bag? Not you?
oh yeah, no, I did. I did.
You did, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Universal sells a bag. It's
Yeah.
my favorite thing in the whole world.
I even
And
put it up on the episode, like the
I love it. I love it. It is the perfect park bag. It fits in all the lockers with my freestyle cups, which I'm going to get into the freestyle stuff
yeah, that's
again.
another one
I'm
we
going
have
to
to
talk about the freestyle stuff again. I don't have visuals this time.
yeah. Let's get into it. Like, so
All
the
right.
freestyle cups. Now, I think first timers need to know there's two types of freestyle cups. There's a resort
Yes.
and a park refillable mug.
Yep.
So it's two different ones, and the
They
ones
don't cross over.
yeah, they do not cross over. So you have to know that. So when you get to your
Mm-hmm.
resort, you're gonna see a refillable mug at your resort. You can purchase those, and they're good at your resort. However, they will not be able to be used in the parks.
No, but it is a great investment,
Yeah,
genuinely. I love all of my freestyle cups. If you listen to episode 20, when we talked
look at
about,
you. Look at you researching the episode numbers. Wow.
listen, I spent so long on the freestyle cup spiel, but to make it shorter, um, I love my freestyle cups. They are incredible. They are absolutely reusable. I use them in my everyday life, but also you can bring them back to Universal, and as long as you haven't really done anything that tampers with there's like a little chip thing at the
Yeah.
bottom of the cup.
Yep.
Um, guess what? They can scan it, and you're paying $12,
Yeah.
12 for a
It's a
refill
great deal.
all
It's a
day.
great deal. It really is. When considering like a smaller cup is like $6, five, six
Yeah.
dollars.
For a single use. I mean, these are incredible. However, if you don't want to bring your freestyle cup, you can still use the freestyle machine for water.
Yes.
And you can have nice filtered water with ice if you want ice in it,
Yeah.
because
Doesn't
Florida
like Florida
is
water.
hot.
Yeah.
And even and we don't talk about Hollywood all that often, but I'm going to talk about Hollywood too. Even Hollywood is hot. It's a different kind of hot, but it's still hot. It is absolutely essential for you to stay as hydrated as you possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah.
The nice part about the freestyle machines is that aside from just like soda, they have juices. I always get vitamin water in my cups because it keeps me hydrated. It keeps the electrolytes, all of the
Yeah. They
vitamins I
do like
need.
Powerades too, right? They have the
Yeah,
power.
they have Powerade. They have just all kinds of things that are going to help you stay as hydrated as you possibly can,
Mhm.
because those lines are long. The heat is awful. Um, it's absolutely vital. Now, you cannot bring your freestyle cup on the ride either. You can't have drinks on the ride.
Mhm.
Um, but the lockers do fit the freestyle cups,
Okay.
interestingly enough. They do fit in there. And Universal very recently a couple of years ago, started selling um like carrying cases for the freestyle.
Oh, really?
Yes. The straps are a little short. However, you can buy those, not the exact ones that Universal has. Obviously, they're branded, but you can buy something similar to it on Amazon, and it's really not that expensive, and you can get like longer straps.
Yeah.
Um, but it's nice. You can carry it around. It's good. It's good. I think Holly has one. I think that she can put her phone in.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
it's like a
Yeah,
little
that
crossbody bag that you can put your freestyle cup in.
nice.
It's cool.
Yeah, that works.
Um, but it is absolutely essential that you stay hydrated. So get a freestyle cup, bring your own water bottle, do whatever you got to do, but
They
you
even
have
sell,
to stay hydrated.
like, Amazon sells those, like, collapsible cups too.
Yeah,
Those
those
are
are
easy
really
to put in,
cool.
like, a small park bag, and then, like, yeah, the water at the freestyle machine's free, and it does not taste like swamp water. So,
Hmm.
that's one good thing, like, because
Yeah,
if anybody is a Disney fan that's going over to Universal, Disney, you go to the quick service, and that's all Disney influencers, like, thing. It's like, "Oh, you get free water at any quick service." Yeah, but they don't tell you that it tastes horrendous. It
yeah. The
is
tap
so
water there is so gross.
it's so gross. It's like you don't it's just not worth it. Like it's just I'd rather pay the money to drink something at
Hmm.
Disney. But like the thought of you can just refill this thing over and over again all
Yeah.
day long, it's worth every penny. Every penny. And
Well,
you get ices too. Like they have like slushies. I
oh
know
yeah,
like
I always forget that you
yeah,
can get ices.
yeah, right outside Men in Black, there's like a whole bar of just ices, and there's like I would say,
Yeah,
I don't know, 15 different flavors. You can mix and match. Like the guy will just fill it up for you. It's great. Like my
yeah.
kids loved it. My kids loved it.
Well, okay. So also going off of the whole hydrating, making sure you're drinking plenty of liquids. I have someone that I love very near and dear in my heart that will not drink water unless we bring these.
Oh, there
I
you go.
love my Mios. I
You
have
know,
so
the little
many
flavor
Mios.
enhancer water additives. Yeah, those are
Yeah,
good.
and they make plenty. They have the liquid IVs, um, liquid death. They've got all kinds of things that'll introduce electrolytes back into your body. You're gonna sweat a lot. It's really hot. It doesn't matter if it's December. It's really hot. It's always hot in Florida.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and even if you don't think that you need it, you need it.
Exactly. No, you're right. You're 100% right. So what do we miss? We went through a lot there.
Yeah, we did go through a
We
lot
did
there.
go through a lot, like, right off the top of our heads. Um, you know, it's one thing I have to say about Universal Orlando is that it's not the same in terms of, like, the bubble if you were to have
Yeah.
at Disney. So if you're a Disney fan going to Orlando, it's a different type of vacation,
Hmm.
right? That's not to say that it's a worse vacation, because honestly, my kids had the best time at Universal. Like, they loved it. And you know what it is? It's almost like a coming of age thing, I think, especially for them. They're a
Yeah.
little bigger now. They got to go on, like, bigger kids' rides,
Yeah.
right? So, like, yes, there are things for the little ones. But if you have those kids, like my kids are now 13 and 10, if you are in that age group, Universal might be the perfect vacation for you, because my kids understood more, right? Like it's they're a little bit more independent. They want to try new things. My
Yeah.
son, who was always just like in a shell, like didn't want to try anything like thrilling or anything, he's going on Spider-Man. He's going on Transformers. He's going on, ET is easy, but like it's unknown, right? So he's
Yeah.
trying all these new things, and same thing with my daughter. Like she tried all these new things. She
Hmm.
went on roller coasters. She went on like, and she loved it. And
Yeah.
it was just like it's a different type of vacation. So you're not technically in a bubble, but they're making it that like you need to be in their space. I guess you
Yeah.
would say, right? Like so, and that's one thing. make sure you stay in the hotels because it is a different feel. It is.
It is.
Um, but yeah, unlike Disney, they have roadways right alongside, some of the hotel.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
active roadways. Like it's not like, you look
Mhm.
out your window, you can see, I don't know, Chick-fil-A, right? Like in some of the hotel, like
That's true.
the- these are things that like, so be prepared that you're not in this like magical bubble.
Mm.
However, it's a really cool place to be. Like
It's
you
great.
feel like just different and it feels like freeing a little bit where it's just like
Mhm.
you're just chilling
Yeah.
at Universal. It's not as intense of a vacation, right? Yes,
No.
we're saying get to early park admission. Yes. That's if you want to ride the ride. Like you don't have to. You know what I mean? You don't have to utilize that.
No.
But it is really, really cool and like it's not as stressful. Park hopping, we didn't mention like park to park tickets,
Yeah.
pretty much a must at this point.
Yeah.
And it looks like in 2026 they're going to be adding Epic Universe to that as well. I saw rumors about that. I don't know if they actually announced that or
I saw rumors. I don't think I saw an official announcement.
yeah, but it's coming, right? So like,
It has to.
and then when that happens, it's like you need the park to park at that point.
Yeah.
I always say get park to park anyway because
Mhm.
they're literally 5-minute walk away from each other. So
Yeah.
that's another huge difference, right? Where it's like you could be in Universal Studios 1 minute and
Mhm.
5 to 10 minutes later you're in Islands of Adventure.
Right. And I mean, I don't know about you, Jim, but I don't sell single park tickets. I maybe I guess I should probably offer, but I don't really do it unless someone asks me for it.
Yeah.
And in that case, I go, but why? Not to like make it be like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" I just like what do you think that you benefit from by getting a single park ticket?
Hmm.
Because the parks are right next to each other and I can promise, guarantee this is I will whoever is out there, I promise you that if you get a single park ticket, you will get there. See Islands of Adventure is spitting distance from
Yeah.
Universal Studios, and you will be so sad when you take your ticket over there and you go, okay, I want to get in now. And they go, ooh, you only have tickets to Universal Studios.
Yeah. It's you need the park to park ticket
Yeah,
is it's essential. Like even though at the
absolutely.
moment Epic Universe isn't included in that, it's just it's definitely a must have if you're a first timer.
Hmm.
And it's so freeing, right? Like you can just be like, "Oh, I want to go over here." Like, "Oh, I want to go ride the Hulk now, but I'm by ET." And it's like,
Yeah,
"Okay, it's 15-minute walk over there." Like
yeah,
it's really not that far. It really isn't. And
right.
that's what's nice about it. It's everything's so close together. And then with Epic Universe opening now, it's it's only a short bus ride away. It's 10-15 minute bus ride to Epic Universe.
Yeah,
So when that actually becomes part of that park to park ticket, it's really not going to be that. It's going to be about the same as a walk over from one to the other. Now you
yeah.
could use the Hogwarts Express. That's the big selling point, right? That's what they teach us in training. That's
Hmm.
the big selling point. No, the big selling point is you get to do whatever you want, like whenever you want. Like
Yeah,
that's the selling point. Yes, Hogwarts Express is very cool. Highly recommend it. Like, I love it. But to be able to go from one part to the other in a matter of 5 minutes is
yeah.
it's amazing. It's there's no limitations there, right?
No,
And
and I mean, to give like a very recent example, we were all the way over in Superhero Island, Superhero Island, Superhero Landing, Superhero the
Island, Island.
Superhero. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
okay,
Island. Yeah.
okay, cool. We were over in Superhero Island, and I looked down at my phone and I said, "Oop, we have a reservation for Finnegan's in Universal Studios," and Noah went, "What time?" And I said, 20 minutes? And he said, okay. So we left Universe or we left Islands of Adventure and went right over to Universal Studios, no problem. There was no issue.
Yep.
It's easy. It's so easy. And especially with the security checkpoint being all the way back on City Walk, just like we were talking about at the beginning, um, you just scan your ticket.
Exactly. Yeah, it's great. Same thing happened to me. I clocked it. We were gonna go on the Hogwarts Express, but the park was closed. The Universal Studios was closing before Island, so everybody jumped onto King's Cross, and so I was like, okay, you know what? Let's walk. So
Hmm.
because we wanted to go on Forbidden Journey again, because that was like our favorite ride. It was awesome,
I love
and so
Forbidden Journey.
yeah, and so I clocked it from King's Cross to Forbidden Journey. Okay,
Hmm.
so that's Forbidden Journey is like the farthest point, basically,
Yeah, yeah.
in Islands of Adventure if you're going that way.
So
Like
far away.
it was 20 minutes. It was a 20-minute walk, and the line was like 90 minutes for the Hogwarts Express. So I'm like, in 20 minutes, I got from the back of one park to the back of the other. Like that's how close they are.
Yeah,
So like it's the park to park. That's one of the major things, and we didn't even get into express passes, right? And I think we could talk for like 2 hours. We're over an hour right now
we
talking.
are.
So like we need to wrap this up soon.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
but
especially because it's at time of recording 11:44 p.m.
it's late. Yeah, it's late. So we'll have to like continue this another time. But like express passes, we can go through a whole thing on express passes. But if that's
Yeah.
something that you need, there's hotels, there's Portofino Bay, Hard Rock Hotel, and Royal Pacific all come with unlimited express passes included, which means you have a dedicated line to get onto the rides quicker, basically.
Hmm.
Those hotels are come at more of a steeper price. Then we can get into ghost rooms, and then we can get into like all these other things. But you know,
There's a lot. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Universal. And I mean, this podcast exists because we love Universal and we could talk about it for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And I mean, we've done that for 31 episodes. So, but like, we could talk about this for forever. And the beginner tips, like, again, this is just the beginning as far as the tips and stuff go. And I mean, I know we did that whole episode on 20, and I really tried to, with my list, not repeat the same things I said in episode 20.
yeah,
Um, but like there are plenty of things that we could go over for hours.
yeah. You know what I think we should do is we should put it onto the listeners, right?
Yeah,
So if they have any questions about Universal, right, they can
anything.
email us,
Mhm.
right? Email us at what's that address? Do you remember it?
Universally epic podcast at gmail.com.
She nailed it. She nailed it. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Um,
you. I said that so confidently, and then I was like, wait.
Yeah. Email us at Universally Epic Podcast with all your questions. It doesn't have to be first timer questions.
Please.
It could be the craziest thing in the world. And I know your friend had something that she wanted to like, right? Didn't you have
Yeah,
somebody?
so we have a little bit of a challenge here that we can go through pretty quick. Okay, so she's never been to Universal, ever. Ever, 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 ever. Never been to Universal. Um, and has asked me for you to give, if you could do breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the park, where are your go to spots?
Oh, oh, that's tough. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner in
Yep,
the parks?
in the parks.
In the parks. Okay.
Money's not an object, time's not an
Breakfast.
object.
Okay. Breakfast is easy.
Okay,
Breakfast is either Leaky Cauldron or Three Broomsticks. Like
okay.
either one of those two. Like go to the Harry Potter ones for breakfast.
Mhm.
I thought they were the best value out of any breakfast I had while I was there. They were
They look
amazing.
like the best value, but I've never done them before.
Yeah. Let's see. Lunch, Minions Cafe. And can I go to Minions Cafe for dinner too? Or no? No,
Yeah,
I
if you
can't.
want to, but come on.
I'm gonna throw in a snack at the crepe stand.
Okay.
Like, okay, because that is unbelievable. Dinner? That's a tough one. That's a
It can
tough
be on City Walk if you want to put it on City Walk.
Yeah, so, you know, I think we went through this. Like, I think I need to go back to Universal and try a little bit more of the upper scale restaurants because I wasn't really thrilled with the like middle of the road restaurants.
Yeah,
Um, NBC Sports Grill or whatever that was
yeah,
like eh. And then like Toothsomes, I guess you would go to Toothsomes for the experience. The food was okay.
yeah.
Chocolate bread's overrated, but like I think the experience of Toothsomes,
Hmm.
I guess I would recommend going there for dinner. Like I had a pork chop. It was okay. Like it wasn't the best thing I've ever had. It wasn't the worst thing I ever had. Right? Like it was just there. But I don't know. Like dinner was tough because I think I just chose wrong. Like the last time I went. I do want to try Big Fire. Um,
I do
that,
too.
yeah, that looks great.
It does.
Um,
It always
and so
smells
there's
really
some really
good.
good. You know what it is? Is when you have kids, it's like you're kind of hesitant to go to these type of
Hmm.
places because you're just like, man, we're gonna spend a lot of money, and if they don't like it, it's gonna be, you know, a double dinner, and we're gonna have to go buy something else somewhere. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's what
you're
goes through
taking to
your
Burger
head.
King.
Yeah, so it's just. But honestly, to be honest, like, so we stayed at Aventura the last time, and their food area there, like, it's almost like set up like a food court. Oh, man, I had a buffalo chicken sandwich that was amazing. I had a noodle bowl, a pizza. Yeah, that was great. Honestly, Aventura, like sleeper, was really good food. They had really, really good food there.
I
Like,
like Cabana Bay's food. You
yeah,
know me. I'm a
yeah,
big
Bayline Diner.
subscriber of the
Yeah,
Bayliner Diner.
exactly. So, like, yeah, but a sit down dinner. We didn't do, the last time we were there, we didn't do much. It was a lot more quick service type stuff. So lunch.
Someone suggested dinner at Mythos.
Okay, so I've never been to Mythos. I want to try Mythos.
Me too.
Yeah, greatest restaurant 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005.
Yeah,
Um, the sign says so outside.
the
Um,
sign says so.
yeah, the sign does say that. I do want to try it because it looks amazing inside too. Like I love the like carved into the rock.
When
Um,
you go to edit this video, I need you to put up the sign for Mythos.
I should, yeah. I
Because
will.
we've
I
talked
will.
about it like 4 or 5
It's so
times,
funny
and
though.
I'm convinced nobody knows what we're talking.
It's so funny. I don't know even know if it's still there, but it was there for a long
It
time.
was there when we were there in November or
Yeah.
in October.
Yeah, somebody else says kids breakfast meals are perfect size. That's smart. Yeah. Kids meals, that's a whole nother like see
Hmm.
now we were just at an hour, now we're at an hour 20. Um yeah, lunch. Margaritaville. Yeah, you know what? Margaritaville was good,
I love
Oh,
Margaritaville. We
yeah,
go every year.
yeah. The nachos were great. Half my food came out at one point, and then the other half came out a half an hour later. It was great. It was such good service. There was literally 0 people in the restaurant as well. So, no,
We
that
had
was
a
really
lady on
cool.
stilts that was making balloon animals.
My god. Like, it's just
What happened to your experience at Margaritaville?
you know what it is? It's me. I have a lot of bad luck, but I deal with it very well. So, I
It
think
sounds
that's
like
why
it.
like, the universe does this to me because I have the patience for it. Um,
I would have left.
and then I just complain about it on a podcast with 3 people watching on TikTok live. You know what I mean?
We need to take you to Margaritaville so you can have a successful time at Margaritaville,
Yeah,
and
no,
we
I
can.
honestly, I don't mind margarita. Like, the food was good.
I
Like, it
love
wasn't bad. Like, I
Margaritaville.
didn't the food wasn't bad. It was just how it was served. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the cook's fault. It's, the
Yeah,
server's fault
it's
for, like,
unfortunate.
bringing out half the meal and then, like, "Oh, I gave the other table your food." Why would you do that?
Why
Like, why
would you do that?
why like, I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
and then you blame it on the cooks. And you know me. Like, don't blame anything on the cooks. They have it hard enough. All right. Oh, they lost your ticket. You got half the ticket. Like you can't say you cannot say that you lost the ticket when half the food came out, right? Like,
I was an expediter for a while when
yeah, I know
when my
I'm
parents owned the
too.
restaurant, and I love working expo. Oh my god,
It's great.
had a
It's great.
great time.
Yeah, I was chef for like 20 years. I did a lot of expo, and
I loved it.
Yeah, yeah, it's intense. It does get intense. Yeah, so
Just a
it's
lot of
fun.
me yelling at everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Where
felt
is
like Gordon Ramsay.
it? There you go. So, all right, let's wrap this up. All
All
right.
right, it's gone on for long
Yeah,
enough.
this is long enough. Like this is gonna take me forever to edit. Um, yeah. Write your questions, please. Email us. universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com. Like love to hear your questions. We will
Or
answer them.
stories.
Yeah,
Give us some
stories. Exactly.
stories.
Yeah, let us know anything. Like we'd love to hear from you guys. Um, you know, we're not going to sell you anything unless you want to be sold. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like so we're
No.
not, we're not collecting anything or just email us, let us know. We'll answer any questions you have. Um, follow us on TikTok. We're on
Mhm.
TikTok live right now. Hello
You can ask
everybody.
us questions there too.
Exactly.
If you ask in the TikTok comments, there's a high likelihood we could answer it on the podcast.
Yeah. And then you can hear it 3 days later. Like it sounds awesome. Like download it on the podcast. Where else? YouTube. Follow us on YouTube.
Mhm.
Um, episode's been brought to you by the Magic of Less Travel. Um, our travel planning services are absolutely free. So if you're looking to go down, reach out at that email address, universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com. We'll hook you guys up. Um, anything else you want to put in there?
No. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's been 31 episodes.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And like always, everybody. I said everybody first. I shouldn't do that. Like always, have an epic week, everybody. That's how it's supposed to go. That's how it's supposed to. And I reversed it. Scratch that. Reverse it. Like always, have an epic week, everybody.
Bye.
You know what I'll do? I'll clip this and put it at the end of the episode, so if people listen to it,
Perfect.
there you go. All right, ready? All right. So we'll go over HHN tickets, and then we'll
And the
do like
announcements.
what's the announcement? Oh yeah, yes. Announcements. Fallout, right? That was yeah.
Fallout, and then the weird one about Five Nights at Freddy's that I want to now talk about what people are speculating and what Mike Aiello may or
Gotcha.
may not have said.
Okay, because we talked about that last week, right? Like,
Hmm.
but just that it was going to be in some capacity,
Yeah, that it was coming
right?
in a whole new way.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. So
Yeah.
we'll do that. So we'll do HHN tickets are on sale now. Uh, I'll just write announcements, and tickets, and then we'll do like our first timer guide to both HHN and Universal Orlando.
Hmm.
Sound good?
Hmm.
And we'll just go like back and forth. Like we don't have to go like. I'm thinking we just have like a conversation about first timer, not like okay, what's
Yeah.
your next point? Like you know what I mean? Like we'll just talk and like it'll be good because I don't know. I was talking to my friend earlier today, and she was
Hmm.
like, "Yeah, like I've never been, and I don't really know." But it's like she's like, "I'm assuming like you have a different first timer guide than like if you don't have kids." I'm like, yeah, like if like
Yeah.
because I went with kids and obviously you don't have kids, so like it would be good. Like the back and forth might be good in terms of
Right.
like something that I might not even think of because why would I with kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So good point brought
I've
up.
got a couple that like I asked Noah, um, like if he was going to Universal for the very first time all over again, what's something that you wish you would have known?
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And he gave me a couple of points. So I have a
Oh,
couple of
good.
points from him. And then my best friend has never been to Universal. And I was like, what's something that you want to
Yeah.
know?
Perfect. Perfect. And hopefully,
And she gave us a little bit of a challenge.
all right.
So
All right.
we
Good.
have a little bit of a challenge for the end of the episode.
Nice. All right. Great. And obviously, if people are watching on TikTok, like they can throw in questions. I'll keep an eye
Of
on
course.
throughout
Yeah.
the show. Um, all right. So let's get into it. I'm like almost to the point of like we should just start talking like instead of this whole introduction thing because we're like talking already. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, this is episode 31, guys. You know what I mean?
We'll really throw him off one day, and I'll do the intro.
There you go. That would be great. Yes, that would be so funny. Oh my god. All right, so I guess I'll do the. Should I do a formal intro, or should we just like go?
Yeah,
Leave it
I mean, it needs an
formal? Yeah, it
introduction.
does, right? Okay, let's do that. All right, here we go.